away because they were afraid of Core Firewalker. Now, people who are playing Jund have good matchup against the decks that have Core Firewalker. People are starting to play less Core Firewalkers. Gives room in the metagame for red players like Ding Liang or perhaps Philip Yam to do well with red decks.
So what about Core Firewalker? Has that found a home in this environment?
See, that's a problem. You can play it in all the decks that take white, but the double white casting cost really gives it trouble getting cost.
What about a mono white deck?
So yeah, you can play it in decks like Cedric is playing a white weenie deck.
That was kind of my lead-in to talk about white weenie.
So talk a little bit about white weenie.
I was trying to get you to talk about it since you were talking about the decks.
Okay. Well, white weenie, a deck.
I can talk about other decks.
Cedric Phillips advocates using it, but there's also Craig Wesco top-aided the Pro Tour San Diego with it. But you know, it's classic white weenie. You play a bunch of white weenie creatures like Core Firewalker, Devout Latcaster out of the board. They also play White Knight.
But also,
Honor of the Pure, Brave the Elements.
It has Stoneforge Mystic, which is a very key card.
Some of them have Stoneforge Mystic.
I think most of them have decided that being able to play Stoneforge Mystic and get an equipment is pretty good. Card advantage. There's not a lot of ways to get card advantage nowadays if you're not 3-color Jund.
And White Weenie is another one of those decks that has a great matchup against Jund. That's why people play it. But it does not have too good of a matchup against decks like the Naya deck that we saw Luis Scott Vargas play at Pro Tour San Diego. Naya deck idea is you play cards like Knight of the Reliquary, Bloodbraid Elf also, Ranger of Eos, Stoneforge Mystic.
Can you check out 159? I don't. No, David is there. I just couldn't see him.
And get card advantage that way. Ranger of Eos is, at least in that deck, a better way to get card advantage than Bloodbraid Elf. Get some 1/1 Wild in the Cattle's attack for 3. What other decks are there in the format? There's some control decks, like a blue-red-white control deck that plays cards like Jace and Wall of Denial, Calcite Snapper. Same with a Grixis deck that plays Calcite Snapper and Jace. It's a bunch of decks in the format. It's pretty diverse, but they're all gunning for one thing. They're all gunning against Jund. And so far, we haven't seen a deck that can really consistently beat Jund while having a good matchup against the rest of the format. Perhaps the red deck is that deck. Perhaps White Weenie is that deck. You'll see it here first today at the TCGplayer.com $5,000 tournament in Los Angeles.
Perhaps Spread 'em is that deck.
Spread 'em, yeah. That was the deck we saw Ben Weinberg play in some other tournament. He spread 'em. The idea of the deck is you have a bunch of Cascaders like Ardent Flea and Bloodbraid Elf to cascade into the card Spreading Seas, which makes another land an island, or Convincing Mirage, which makes another land type of your choice. And the idea is Jund's mana is pretty bad. It's gotten a little better with the man lands, but it's kind of bad to the point where if you shut off like a Savage Lands first turn, they have trouble casting a bunch of their spells. So while you're slowing them down, you can play cards like Baneslayer Angel or Jace and kind of lock them out of the game. So
that's correct. Everything.
There's also a blue-white deck, I forgot.
Oh yeah, blue-white control.
Patrick Chapin advocates that deck. Blue-white control, the idea is just take control of the game with blue-white cards like Day of Judgment, the Wrath of God effect, destroy all creatures. Jace, the Mind Sculptor. Jace is pretty powerful. I think that Jace is going to get so much more powerful when Alara Block rotates, because the one thing really stopping Jace from being amazing or as good as he is at like extended, he's pretty good at extended also, is that there's Bloodbraid Elf and people are playing Bloodbraid Elf. Like you play Jace, you Fate Seal them or you bounce a creature and then they just untap, cast Bloodbraid Elf, kill your Jace.
How do they kill your Jace?
If you Fate Seal, just Bloodbraid Elf on itself can't kill your Jace, but if they, Bloodbraid Elf and a Lightning, bam, goodbye Jace.
You have to have some blockers.
Just he came up to me and volunteered.
There's a lot of action up on this stage.
Yeah.
It's action packed.
Action Jackson.
A lot of action, not enough matches. Looks like there's something going on over there with the head judge and some cards. So we may be waiting a little bit longer for a match. So it's 1 o'clock and we're going into round 3. And round 1 started around 10?
Yeah, around 10 o'clock.
Well, I can see it there. Pretty late in the evening.
Might be.
Might be.
But Glenn Goddard of Sun Mesa Events is doing a great job running this event.
He is.
If you live anywhere close to the Los Angeles area, be sure to check out. That's where he's from, right? Los Angeles area.
Yes.
Be sure to check out sunmesaevents.com.
Maybe we'll check out sunmesaevents.com right now.
Oh, cool. Well, pairings we have. So I'm gonna pick a feature match.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it.
Did you really not put any of the other token out?
What?
Did you put?
There's just one. Yeah, I put all of them out. Put a bunch out.
I don't see any of me in my hat.
I took this all.
Why'd you do that?
So I could have them. I don't really see very many people.
38? No.
We still have Matt Nass.
Where is he?
Is he not in this tournament? Did he not play?
Right, he's not undefeated. Anything. Raptor. Are you undefeated? Is Nass undefeated? But he has a draw. Okay. You want to cover Matt Nass?
Is he playing land destruction? Sure. Let's cover him now before he fades away. Let's get him now. All right. So we're gonna see Matt Nass, GP Oakland champion.
TCGplayers, your pairings.
He's playing this fabled land destruction deck.
Table 34, feature match. Matt Nass against Will Fosenden. Table 34.
Will Fosenden?
Go to the feature match.
Fast ending. Let's see if I can. Fast ending. Fast ending.
I want him to tell you how he says it.
Will F.
William.
All right, so we have the feature match. I don't know what Will's playing, but
Matt Nass. What is he playing?
By the way,
land
6
destruction,
players
right?
on the first draft. Zen World
Sounds
Rank,
interesting.
$15.
We'll see how it goes for him. He's got a draw, so I don't know what he drew against, but
Well, I mean, maybe it must have been the mirror. Had to have been. What else does land destruction draw against? A deck with a lot of land?
I just don't understand what kind of land destruction he's playing. Is he playing like a spreading seas deck?
We will
You're
find
at
out.
14. Yeah.
We're all going to find out together. But I did ask Philip
You were playing
Yam,
yesterday.
and he said that it wasn't.
It wasn't very
It
good.
wasn't spreading seas.
Oh, it wasn't spreading seas?
We're ramping up to 4.
Was it 4-color allies?
I hope so.
Does it have demolish?
Could maybe,
I hope it is
or
demolished.
what's the new one that deals damage for every land in your graveyard?
Oh, yeah. There's also the one from Alara that does the same thing, too. The one with domain.
Oh, no, you don't destroy a land.
You search.
You
It's
search
rolling
for a
terrain
land.
is the card.
Rolling
we're talking
terrain.
about. Well, I can hear the players. Did you pick the... Matt, I think, is on the right side.
Right, well, we're over to the match. Those look like some Matt Nash shorts.
Yeah. It's so nasty, man.
Yeah.
Where are the where'd you put those other tokens? The Eden Hat tokens. Why you put them in your pack? Do you want some? Because I could just sell you some. Like, those are for people to have. Not for you to put in your pocket. You have so many opportunities to get tokens. You're going to take them all. There's more than that.
There's more tokens in the box.
Okay. Alright. So you actually got to keep those.
No, I put them out there.
Okay. That's all. It was just 6.
Yeah. Is there a problem with that?
Well, I know for a fact there were more than 6.
There's somebody
So
sitting at 34.
we're waiting on Will. Maybe he's sitting at the table still.
Ask if that guy's Will.
Well, I guess we have a question. Penguinizer wants to know why people use playmats.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why we use playmats. Because if we don't use playmats, the players will just put the cards all over the place, and we won't know where the cards are gonna go
What card?
that they're playing with.
Oh,
It's
okay.
magic cards.
What's that?
What's magic?
I don't know, man.
It's all